Kind of the big thing happening Wednesday was was seen uh a driving car showed up just a little bit late.
Yeah, and couldn't qualify.
Couldn't qualify, missed the driver's meeting. That would be, I say driving just to give a little dig over at Nick over there. But it was Scott Bloomquist. Surprise, surprise, a little drama, even though he's not maybe the Scott Bloomquist of old quite yet.
Was he gambling in Columbus again at the horse
No.
track?
From what I understand, they were thrashing to get a new car ready.
Maybe he's at the whistle stop.
Yeah, maybe he was. They thrashed to get the car ready. Feel free to tell me if you heard any different, Nick. And then they tried racing it Wednesday, and then parked it the rest of the weekend and got the backup out anyway.
Right? Yeah. No, I didn't get to get into the details of that. I try to let those guys do their thing and not get too invasive into their space, and try not to, obviously get underneath cars too much or get around, get too close. And that is some busy, that pit road area back there was one of the busiest areas that I had ever been a part of in my 5 years of doing this racing stuff. It was, that was an incredible little space back there, and there just people moving all over the place, race cars getting hooked up, and race cars coming through, going to staging. It was just a lot of movement back there compared to the front stretch.
Yeah, and since Bloomquist came in late, they parked him next to where our buddy Ryan Missler was, which is meant for the smaller haulers.
Yeah.
So Bloomquist stuck out big time. So there wasn't enough room to back cars into haulers through that area. Like Nick was saying, it was super compact right through there. Bloomquist for the final day eventually moved over to where another hauler had left. But I'll tell you what, and Nick, feel free to just kind of cover your face, or maybe earmuffs is the popular term, but Bloomquist operation looks like a total clusterfuck. And I can't reiterate that term enough. Just a mess.
And I can't believe he's let it get that way.
It is ridiculous. I'm like, and I say this to a few people we're talking to in the media center, and they're like, yeah, it's been like that. I'm like, are you kidding me? It was, like I said, Nick, you don't have to comment because I know you're a driving guy, but to me,
it's interesting to see that. He made the show there, Saturday, and it's just some of the faces are a little familiar down there. That was the second time that I'd been around that third time I guess I've been around that group this year. Some of the faces were familiar, and there are some new faces again. And it's racing. I just have come to expect having new people around race teams every now and again. It's just come to be a part of it. And they got the car on track after, their little dilemma there on Wednesday night showing up. And they definitely, Scott had some shining moments, and even, had some moments here and there. And him and Dale had a little battle going on, I believe that was Saturday afternoon. That was pretty exciting for me, not, being around for those guys majority of their career. Seeing two legends like that just going door to door and giving it back and forth to each other was pretty good.
Yeah, I just like seeing. I was talking to Ryan, and he's parked next to him, and you're just watching. Like, you could tell. To me, it looked like they don't like they're not in a rhythm as a group, right? They don't all know what each other's doing or what each other's jobs are. It just looked like a total mess.
Yeah,
I mean, a complete mess. And I was talking to some of the media center. They're like literally, it's like the island of the misfit toys over at Bloomquist camp. So,
well, and it's weird that he's let it get that way. I mean, I know he don't own it all now.
Well, and a few people were in agreement with me when I mentioned that change, and they said, yeah, that's kind of what we're all thinking too. So I don't know what the deal is, not my business, but when you're the legend of the sport, that's just not a great way to come across looking, I would say.
Well, yeah, especially somebody that used to not tolerate, too much stuff.
Yeah.
What to me, so that begs the question: will Scott Bloomquist leave Scott Bloomquist racing for a chance to win again?
I always kind of said, like, the whole buy-in business thing. I was like, what's the point? What if you're Cody Summer buying in when Scott Bloomquist retires? You lose the mind that created everything.
Right.
So the chassis are worthless at that point.
So you have a name.
The name, which you're not owning all of it, I can guarantee you that, because it's the guy's name and he's not that dumb. then the merchandise, you're not getting all of that. What are you getting? You're not getting anything. You're getting looks like a dog shit operation for, you know, the first year and a half you've been there. That's what it looks like to me. But I mean, I don't understand the point. Maybe there's more. Obviously, there's more going on than we know. We're just a couple dipshits that talk about racing. Right. But that was just mind-boggling to, like you said, when you knew Bloomquist back in the day, I mean, you know, it was a well-oiled machine.
Yes.
You know, every freaking detail was overlooked. If they showed up late to a track like that, it was because everything was ready and it looked like everything was a mess. Yeah. So that was just my take on what I saw. And I mean, you know, being that at least a few people agreed with me, I guess I'm not I don't feel 100% out of line saying it or wrong, but like Nick said, though, he's the best he's run there in a year plus. So.
Well, I mean, he's an excellent driver. I mean,
yeah,
you know, so if you get it close, he's a driver that can still get it done if you get it close. But
they had rear end brake in the feature, it said. So
I mean, there's something definitely off because I mean he hasn't even been competitive hardly.
Yeah,
I mean, and to me the Bloomquist cars were actually you know, I mean, being that Longhorns and Rockets seem to dominate everything. The Fergie running a, you know, Bloomquist car and Bab getting you know, preliminary win. I think it was, right. Yeah. And Bloomquist car again. So I mean, they definitely have something at that track. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. And I will say the key with those Boomer cars, I don't know if I was telling you, but the year in which they were built, we were kind of talking about how they used to be made and all that. So like Fergie's, I know, are still the old ones. Babs are got to be the newer ones, and like you said, you made them look good. So there's still a weird conundrum there with the Tennessee built cars and the Michigan built cars that, you know, still not fully defined. But like you said, McDowell can still make them look good, and Fergie still made them look good at least. But
right,
Longhorn definitely waxed everyone's ass otherwise.
Yes,
sure.